Mansi, it's on recording. We can get started.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for waiting.
yeah, of course. So, welcome again, everyone. I see several new faces. So, I am going to take the opportunity to talk about Quanto Life. First of all, if you are here, um, I I really appreciate today we are going to talk about the masculine feminine dynamics, and we have so much happening in today's world. We are going from we have crisis moments, tower moments. We have our own independent lives. We have more freedom than ever before in history. And at that time, the feminine relationship, even though it is the fundamental foundation of everything in the life, including from where we have come, it sometimes gets pushed to the background unless a crisis about it comes up. So if you are here, I feel that you realize how important this dynamics is consciously, subconsciously, in some way or form. And you are a part of it. That's why, everything has opened up and you can be in this session today. So I really appreciate you all coming. About Quanto Life, this is a unique spiritual community and it is for heroes today. It is not a group of followers. It is a group of heroes. And over here, we really want to help people discover their uniqueness. We celebrate it. We work almost as one so many times. I won't even say that we are a family. At times, we are one and we are looking out for opportunities for each other. We are appreciating each other. We are finding each other's blind spot and comfortable enough to share that with them. And we are working to make the biggest impact of that unique potential that we can. One of the beauties of Quanto Life is when you're working in such a small, when you're working in such a close, intimate spiritual community, there are a lot of triggers that happen because you are being so authentic, so real, you're open, and you are here for evolution. So triggers happen. But one of the things we have seen in Quanto Life is the dynamic between a man and a woman, between the masculine and feminine, because I say masculine, feminine, because we all have masculine and feminine in each other. So that has played out very beautifully in Quanto Life. I think many people here in Quanto Life will attest to that, especially one who has been here for a few years. So with that, I welcome you all. And I would like to introduce Shivo. Um, I could write a book probably on Shivo and what he has done, what he has meant to our lives, what he has meant to my lives. Today, I want to give a perspective of him from the masculine feminine dynamics. We all remember pivotal moments in our life, right? Similarly, I remember this morning in a retreat in Osho Saraswati with Atin and a lot of our quantum members. And at that moment, this question was asked to him. We were talking about what are the masculine and feminine qualities that we have. And I felt that I was very feminine, and I thought that I do need to imbibe some of these masculine qualities, but I expressed my fear that I might lose my feminine qualities. And at that time, Shivo said that it is not about being Ardhanarishwara, is not about being 50% masculine and 50% feminine. It's about being 100% masculine and 100% feminine. And in that moment, I know my life shifted. And I say this again and again because it is a turning point in my life. I can still go back to that point and, get inspiration from that moment. And similarly, there have been so many sutras that Shivo has shared about masculine, feminine dynamics that have been key for me. And as we go along the course, okay, I'll share one of the things, okay, one of the things that he has taught me. So many things of masculine, feminine, but one of the other takya kalams he's taught me. He's taught me that in an argument with a masculine, feminine, right? We don't acknowledge something that is true. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Let's say my husband has come home from his work, and he sees the dishes and he's like, oh, the dishes are not yet cleaned. Okay. And I will immediately be like, but you don't know what happened with our son today, and this happened, and today was this day, right? And this goes on. And Shivo taught me acknowledge, like, okay, he has said something and it is true, acknowledge it. And then you can start. And the simple thing, it has really changed. And there are such pearls of wisdom, which are so practical. While this session today might seem conceptual, but it is like some of these sutras, it sounds so simple, but it changes the dynamics of relationships. And I've seen Shivo, and that is what enlightened me, that he's so present. He is so present to that moment that the solution gets channeled through him. And there is no cookie cutter thing. It will be a unique solution, and yet that unique solution will benefit so many who hear of it. So that is one introduction of Shivo. And also we are talking about masculine, feminine dynamics in the ascending Dwapar. So we are in ascending Dwapar, and that has certain meaning. Shivo is he is an astrologer who has channeled many new concepts of astrology. They are in alignment with today's consciousness, because it doesn't mean that the astrology of before was not true, but we always, and that is why so many avatars are born, because there is a changing consciousness, and we need to channel the truths of the current consciousness. And that is what Shiva has done with astrology. So today we are, today Shiva was also going to share what that ascending Dwapar means. It will be a very interactive session. So I invite you all to, to share from a very authentic space, and these insights will get channeled. So welcome, and Shivo, welcome. And Jayaji, thank you as always for encapsulating the crux of what we are saying. I feel we are all in partnership when you do that. So thank you for that. Yes, Shivo. Shivo, आप mute पे हो?
Thank you for a wonderful introduction, Mansi. So tonight's session, are we going to take up the queries from participants? How are we going to proceed?
Shivu, I would, yes, I would be open to, yes, we can start with queries. Shivu, I want to just get a feeling of where we are as a group. So maybe, Shivu, we ask a few general questions so we know where everyone is. So
yeah, that will be good.
Yeah.
And we will also, let's get a sense of what is the nature of dynamics which is going on currently, the crisis and the possibilities. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I'll start with a very basic question. How many of you feel that we need the masculine and feminine to be more synthesized? We need them to come together more everywhere in the world, including in our personal relationships. Can I have a show of hands or a yes on the chat? Because I want to know how relevant this is for you. Is this because I know so many important things? There is a war happening. There is your professional development happening. There is careers. There are bills to pay. So in all that scheme of things, when so much is happening, kids, there are all these urgent things where we need to. How many of you feel that we really need that this is our foundation and we really need to resolve something here? We need to heal something here. We need to integrate more. So thank you, Nitika, Sheetal, Kaval, Jayaji, Ushaji, Kunjin. Because you know what, when you interact here, you are adding your own, it just feels like you're raising a hand. But what you're doing is there is an intermingling of energy. There is a participation that happens. It is not just one way. It is a very energetic thing that happens. So I really appreciate the hands raised. Okay, how many of you feel that somewhere the commitment that we have for each other? Okay, how many of you feel that in the past, Shiva, would you say 15 years or 20 years the relationships have changed? What would you say? Because or has it been changing? What would you say? Would you give a number on it? Or?
So, just give me some.
Okay, we give Shivo half a minute. Actually, even I forgot to fill my water bottle. I feel like running upstairs and just filling my water bottle.
We have two hands raised. So do we want to take the responses or do we want people to write in the chat?
Yeah, Jayaji, so Shivo said I'm coming in 2 minutes. So I was like, okay. But yes, we can have it either way. That do you feel that, the commitment that we have or our relationships have changed as opposed to the past generation? Are you all experiencing that we have different issues and we have like it is no longer the same? The issues faced by your mom. Yes, sure.
So, Mansi, this is one thing is very commonly understood and accepted, that the issues we face today are very different from even one generation before. So that is something quite acceptable.
Yeah, Shivu, not even a generation before. I feel that's, even if you think my own marriage, where we were in the beginning of the marriage, like what was that now even 17, 18 years, that is also different. So I mean, not even the previous generation, I feel it is rapidly changing even in a relationship. That's what I think I meant to say.
I think the real question is, I feel the real question is the issues we are facing. We may tend to think that we have the solutions. I think this is the biggest crisis. This is the biggest crisis. We think that we have the solutions for whatever crisis we are facing. The truth is, whatever we are thinking is the solution, actually is worsening the crisis. It's not the solution. I feel we are not aware that what we are thinking is the solution is not the solution.
Shivu, can you elaborate on that? An example or something? Because I think what you are saying is that we are looking for solutions.
No,
We are not realizing that we have to come up with a new solution.
No, we think we have the solution, but actually that's
Okay.
not the solution.
Oh, so there is a certain problem. So for example, we have Kunjan who said that things have changed a lot and all, and maybe someone can share a crisis or an issue that they are seeing. Um, Thank you so much.
So let's ask people what is the biggest issue they face and what they think is the solution. See, because in today's time, see what has happened in past 25 years. As I've mentioned it many times, that we are going through the plasmic times and Earth is going through the galactic equator, and there is a huge influx of
Shivo,
plasma.
can you explain? Would anyone want to explain? Because I think we have new people. Shivo, can you explain that we are an ascending dwapar? What that means? Because I feel is everyone familiar? Like everyone clear of the fact that we are an ascending dwapar and what it means?
So I want to mention two factors basically.
Yeah.
Two astronomical factors which are very vital for us to understand for any issue, including the relationship issue. First factor is the plasmic era, because the solar system is passing through the galactic equator. That is why there is a huge onslaught of plasma, and because of that, the electricity, the amount of electricity which is flowing, the amount of plasma which is flowing on Earth has become huge. We should know that in the cosmos, in the whole of the universe, 99.999% is plasma. But on Earth, this is not how it is. On Earth, we have the solid, liquid, and gas. The plasma is very, very little. But now the Earth has gone into the river of plasma. So there is a huge influx of plasma, and that is one thing. Because of that, the electromagnetic field have risen, our auras have expanded, our whatever was hidden inside the subconscious, that is like erupting out. So there are plenty of huge amount of crisis because of that. It also has big opportunity in terms of we are able to connect with each other very quickly. We are able to connect with the divine beings very quickly. That is why we in Quanto Life experience so much of the presence of gods and goddesses. So what has happened is that intensity of everything has just gone up. All positive, negative, plus, minus, both have just expanded. Just how many times I don't know, but it's just huge. And that is why the times, uh, uh, the the rate of change in past 25 years has become huge. And suddenly the solutions we used to think, the solutions which were there in the copybook, solutions which were there in the text, solutions which existed as morals, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do, everything is gone out of toss. Today's one big problem is that the morals have stopped to work. 25 years back, the solutions were too simple. You can find a moral, particular moral, and that is your solution. Right? There is a fight between husband and wife, and then the elders come together and they tell them what is the duty of husband, what is the duty of wife, and what is the right behavior for you. And you think you made mistake, oh yes, we made mistake. They know that they made mistake with reference to the morals that prevail. And then both of them realize there is a sorry thing, and then continue. And one of the such moral was that if you are married, now till the end you will be together. That's the vow. I mean, they used to take in church also. And there was a time in Catholic Church, divorce was not allowed. Even the kings could not divorce their wives. Right? So it was very clear the solution has to be as per the morals. So it was very simple. Today, moral has totally gone out of toss. I mean, it has gone out the window. Today, you cannot have any solution based on moral. Even if you present a particular moral, the person to whom you are saying, that person will present you a counter moral. Right? So both of them will present themselves like they are on the side of morals. Right? So the morals are not giving any solutions. So that is why there is this huge crisis. Also, I have talked a lot about the yoga cycles, where in descending yoga cycle, survival was the key, and all the morals of humanity were around the survival. Even the family structures were designed for survival. Even the marriage was a tool which was designed around the survival. It was the purpose of the marriage was so that the family grows, so that there are children, maximum number of children, because the rate of death was extremely high in descending yoga. So and it was very difficult to bring up children, and yet it had to make sure the people, wise people, had to make sure that the enough children in the world so that the world survives. And if we see from, you will be very surprised to know that when Kali Yuga started, 2500 years back or 2700 years back, and when Kali Yuga ended, 200, 300 years back, in that period, there was no growth in the population of the world. The population of the world 500 BC was around 25 million. And even the 300 years back, the population was 25 millions. So there was no growth in population. And it was these morals which made sure that the humanity survives. Now there is a huge crisis. The age span have grown so much, and people are now having only 1 or 2 kids, yet the population of the world is so high. So this crisis is no more there, that how the humanity will survive. And we are no more in the survival times, we are in the creative times. So this whole institution of marriage is in danger. It's not that it is in danger, it has lost its relevance, and it has become more like a burden actually for people. And we are seeing all over, everywhere, people are just not happy in marriage. We are in creative times, and in these creative times, we will need a kind of a man-woman relationship, the masculine-feminine relationship, which is not made for survival, but which is made for flourishing, for new creative possibilities. That is what we need actually in today's times. And because our old structures, our old understanding is not able to provide us with that joy, with that creative possibilities, with that flourishing, that is why people are feeling very hopeless with marriage. So we need a completely new understanding. The understanding that was working for thousands of years is not working anymore. We need a new understanding. Yes, Mansi, please.
Yeah, so I want to just share some caveats, and then there is Mukul's question also, which we'll take up. At Quanto Life, we are not against marriage, but we don't condone it. It is people who have married also have issues. People who have not married also, they also share the issues. We are just saying that we are moving into a space of more creation. We want more intimacy. So those new structures will emerge, because we are in Shivo, we are in ascending yoga. So new things will emerge. Like we have to
New
be
structures are
new
emerging,
structures.
they will
Yeah,
emerge.
even in marriage, what marriage meant for your parents may not mean what marriage is for you. What marriage meant to you in the beginning of the marriage may not mean what marriage is for you. So there is a continuous process of evolution, and there is a possibility of creativity. But because of that plasma, it is coming out because there is so much intensity. It is coming out as irritability, as triggers, as fighting. You have a huge relationship for years, and then one big fight, it destroys it, and that is all because of plasma. So what she was trying to say is that there are possibilities now. We have to realize that yes, intensity has increased, so there are going to be a lot of triggers, yet there is a
like for example, like in marriage you take vows, right? And you are bound by that, and that's what we think the commitment is. So husband is supposed to be participating in wife's travels and traumas, and wife is supposed to be doing the vice versa, because 20 years back that's what they said to each other. That's a commitment they made, and that's what we think. We think that's the meaning of commitment. Meaning of commitment, we think, is that I am going to be with you till I die, and I meet that commitment. That's what the commitment is.
You will not just die for the next 7 lifetimes.
Yeah. But I really feel we need a new understanding of commitment. This kind of commitment is not working. I want to really ask this honestly. Do you think this vow, that this commitment that you made the commitment to your spouse many years back, and can that be the reason of living together? Can I ask you, how many of you think that this can be the reason? Anybody who thinks that this is the reason you should be together?
Because I had thought that many relationships, even though they are not harmonious, are continuing for the sake of the peace of children or future of children, because there is an emotional connect. The only emotional connect being that we don't want the children to suffer the traumas between us, disagreements between us affecting our children. So a number of marriages continue just for the sake of it, but actually it is disharmony.
And what happens to those marriages when children grow up?
Then they move apart. So
yeah, but they are still living in that marriage. I feel huge sadness, Jayaji.
Yes, what I see. Huge sadness.
Depression, like literally like depression.
Yeah, it's a depression.
But want to hear from others also.
See no hope for life. There is no hope in life. That the ability to give joy, the life can give you joy, is gone, isn't it? So then for what you live?
Shivo, one thing is that Mukul had asked a question about morality, and can morality, Mukul, if you wanted to share that. He was saying that...
Dayaji, let me just complete this. See, we need to move into a relationship which is totally spiritual and soul-based. Not moral-based. See, the whole problem is that we are still trying to find our solace in some moral, and that moral is कि हमने 7 फेरे लिए और उस 7 फेरों में हमने एक दूसरे से कमिट किया. That is the reason we are finding, and that's not the enough reason to live together. To live together, you need to discover the commitment, a new level of commitment. And I feel the new level of commitment is in this moment. It's the real commitment is not about future. The real commitment is about the present. The real commitment is, in this moment, I will do what is best for you. In this moment, I am that who can be totally supportive to you in this moment. tell me how many times in how many marriages we can live, or in how many relationships we can live that commitment, that in this moment I am in this moment what best is needed for you. I will do what is best for you. That's the peak level of commitment. Am I making sense here? Am I making sense here that that's the level of commitment we need in the relationship?
Shivo, the commitment is not just about the future, but we also make based on past. So the past is also, we make a commitment, like past mein commitment kiya hai, future ka bhi, and just present is not involved somehow.
Yes, the present is not involved. That is a problem. That is a crisis. Because the presence is lost. In the relationships today, the presence is lost, and the whole relating of soul, it happens in this moment. It happens in this moment. The true relationship happens in this moment, because in this moment you relate. Not because you related, you loved each other 20 years back. Not because you made a commitment 15 years back. No, that cannot be the foundation of relationship.
Or who will take care of me in the old age? So let's...
Yeah. Yes. Really, I feel for relationships to flourish, we really need to trust. And trust whom? I would say we need to trust life. Only when you trust life, then only you will be able to live in that kind of a commitment for each other, that I will do what is best for you in this moment. That's my commitment.
So who's DS? So Shivo, she has written, can it be dynamic, fluid, and momentary? So it is not momentary. Shivo, can you like...
It is every moment. This commitment is recreated.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is totally dynamic.
So it doesn't mean the next moment it will break. Because when it is made with Shiva, I think, it feels like a paradox. It feels like ye kabhi bhi toot sakta hai. If you are like, it's momentary. Is it only momentary? A decision made in the moment, is it momentary?
Yeah, but see, the commitment you make in this moment is the accumulation of your whole journey of past together for many lives. One thing I have realized, that in today's world, for relationships to flourish, you have to really understand your purpose. You have to really understand the vision of the relationship. And that vision can only be understood only if we have somehow some understanding of what kind of past lives we have lived together. And the kind of commitment I'm talking about in this moment, that kind of commitment can only come when we are present to our whole past. So it is a summation of the whole past. So Mansi, I think we have, I've gone, it appears I've gone very theoretical, though I'm not theoretical.
Yeah.
It's very practical, but a lot of people may be feeling that. So let's take some real case studies.
Yeah. Shivu, we have a couple of questions.
Real
Jayaji has raised the hand and Mukul, and after that, let's go to real. I feel ki if there are any burning questions, Jayaji, Mukul, please share. Jyotsna is also asking. But after that, let's move on to real life, because that is where we can be present in the moment.
So Jyotsna also asked the question. Jyotsna has asked the question about what we are discussing right now.
Shivo, hum Jayaji or Mukul ka le le kya?
Okay, fine. Yeah, please. Yeah.
So my question is really about how easy is it to redefine once we become conscious about this, that we need to make a spiritual soul related relationship. And we now, let's say between the two partners, there is a redefined understanding of one partner, but not so of the other. It will still be a turmoil situation because each of us are, embedded by our social, cultural upbringing, past life, everything. And it's not going to be easy for both the partners to tread the same path. So is it a great idea to walk out? Because that's mostly the kind of thing that people, think that this is like not resolving. I don't think we are on the same path now, or we have grown apart. So my question is, taking this leap into new way of living together.
So Jayaji, there are many layers, many levels of your question. First thing is it easy? Let me tell you, once you have grown soulful, once you become conscious, this is the only way possible. There is no other way possible for you. So this is the only easy way.
This is walking out of the relationship, right?
No, I never. So first thing, let us understand, any relationship, any intense relationship we are in, we can never walk out of that unless issues are totally resolved. So there is a purpose with which you entered a relationship at in some past life. All right. And from there, the purpose is moving on, and you have come somewhere. You may feel, I am so hassled, I am so troubled, I want to walk out of it, but it is not possible to walk out. Simply not possible. Maybe you can take divorce in this life, but then you have to deal with it in next life. There is no way. None of the relationship can be left incomplete. Only time when you have the choice to walk out. You have the choice to walk out. Only when both of you have come together in deep love. In deep love, you can make a choice to let go of each other. Or you can make a choice to come together with a new vision. So Mansi, you want to share something we were discussing in morning? So I don't know if you want to share, please share. That's a real case study.
Okay. Shivo, फिर हम इनका
you can
questions
share
का क्या
without
करें?
taking any names. You can
No,
share
no,
without...
it's okay. I don't mind. It is I don't mind. But I feel like फिर हम questions का क्या करें? उसके बाद करेंगे.
नहीं, एक मिनट पहले आप इसको, ये बहुत डीप पॉइंट है मुझे लगता है, और ये डीप पॉइंट हम इसलिए भी ले रहे हैं क्योंकि जो वर्कशॉप होगा ना, इन द वर्कशॉप always we end up getting some cases like that where people discover that why they entered in that relationship with each other. And then when you come to know, that's when you know your responsibility. See, you can never shrug away your responsibility just because you are having fights or you have the power. I mean, you can just take divorce, you give alimony, or you can fight for alimony, or you have the laws and you can take divorce. That doesn't mean that relationship has ended. Spiritually, it doesn't end like that. There
Karmically also it doesn't end like that.
Very deep responsibility. Only when that responsibility is met, that's when the relationship ends. Not ends. You have the opportunity to say bye-bye to each other. Only when you have met your responsibilities. Yeah, Mansi, please.
So, this is a story of me and my husband. And, actually, many years ago, maybe around 7 to 8, maybe more, maybe 10 years ago, Shivo was doing a past life regression. And I think that what he does is not even a past life regression. It is much more. But for lack of better word, I will use the word past life regression. And my son was very tiny. So I was hardly there for 10 minutes. But in that 10 minutes, no, I was expecting like a full, like I would see my husband in a full love story kind of thing. And what I saw that, my, my husband then in that life, and who's also my husband now, but he was, and he's a figure in history. So he was a figure in history who was kind of considered to be a barbarian leader
You can
of
take,
a tribe.
I think you can take the name because that name came to you. And then we researched.
Yeah. So
After
the name that came to me was Attila the Hun. And even though I read about it in history, I didn't know much about Attila the Hun. So I got the word Attila the Hun, and I saw that it was our wedding night. And I was probably European. I could see I was European. And on the wedding night, I fed him something and he died, right? He died. And
you did what? You killed with a knife, right?
no, I didn't kill with a knife. It was something in the eating. Okay. His knife is very important, and that is a part of the story. But his knife is but I didn't kill him with a knife. I fed him something. There was something, and he died. And so what happened is, after that life,
And then Mansi was very shocked, and then we said, okay, let's research. Let's research what happened in the past, because he's a historic figure.
Yeah. But so what I remember is he died. So it is the wedding night and he has died. I have come in and he has died. Like, because of through me, he has died. And so yes, and then we studied history. We looked in, we Googled, and we did discover that he had that he did die on his wedding day. And there was a conspiracy because he was taking over parts of Europe, and people got together and they were like, how do we reach him? Because he was so, he was a very, very famous, he was known for his fighting skills. He had loyalists, so there's no way you can get near him. What was funny, that even though that seemed so impossible, we have a running joke in our family that if I even, you give prasad to the husband, and we are so close, such a great relationship. I mean, he was the one who came and gave me water because I was so thirsty. So we have a great relationship, but the moment, even in prasad, if I put my hand and I try to feed him, the first thing he does is go back. That has been true. And now, after sharing that story, laughing about it so much, it has changed. But after so many years, even in the shadi, you give, no, and ask as a love marriage. So whenever I go to even give it, the first thing is he goes back. And, we have even experimented that, and he says, no, it comes. Yeah.
So I just want to remind Mansi, I don't know if she's forgotten.
Yeah.
So what we discovered when we researched, that Attila the Hun was killed on his wedding day or wedding night.
Yes.
And this girl was his 12th wife.
Yeah.
And she was a German. Wife. She was a German. Yeah. And she was a part of a conspiracy to kill him. And he was like very attracted to this girl, and somehow all the villagers thought that, and this girl got ready to, commit this so that the village or the country can be saved. So this all is part of the history, and this is what she had seen. Now, if you see, this is how lots of relationships have begun like that. In fact, I will venture out and say most of the relationships have begun like that. There was a soul that was very powerful, but that was on some other path. And there was another powerful soul that was a divine soul. And that's when God decided to bring them together so that the divine soul can guide the other soul into that kind of a purity. Now, when you have entered this kind of relationship, can you ever think that there will be all those kind of romantic love stories and all that, right? That is not going to be there. There are going to be very difficult situations because this person who is very powerful, that person could be male or female actually. But this person need to be guided, and this person who has taken charge of him or her in compassion has to go through a lot of difficult situations. So that is why today I wrote on the group that there are souls who are the guides. So you have to check out who is the soul you are guiding, who are the soul who are guiding you. Because if you are a guide to some soul, you are bound to face extreme challenges. And because that soul you are guiding because you are pure. Because the soul you are guiding is a powerful soul that doesn't accept your virtue of purity. So it will try to dominate you, it will try to control you. So it's going to be very difficult. And the situations, the way to guide such a soul is only by, in being in harmony with the whole life. And one thing I have this very, very strong inkling. There are so many such love stories where one soul is guiding another. This is the time when we are going through the plasmic times, when we are going through the ascending Dwapar, all those relationships which exist for past 2000 years, for past 5000 years, those stories are out here to resolve in current times, in next 20 years, 50 years. We are living in very, very happening times.
Shivo,
So I would not wonder if any of
caveat.
you are going through
Shivo,
those situations.
Shivo, I want to bring in one caveat that I do not, I mean, there are different ways, but I do not personally think that, I just feel that my and my husband's souls were very different at that time. And there is so much I had to learn from him as well. And
You
I would
will
not
learn,
have
yeah,
progressed.
obviously.
Yeah, and I would not have progressed.
Obviously. Mansi, you will learn, right? You will learn. A person who is so powerful, you will learn.
Yeah. And we had many difficult lives after that. We have come to harmony now, but there were many difficult lives, but they were exploring like completely different worlds. We had come from very different worldviews. So I would not say that I am higher or that,
So
but
this
I
is
would say we are
the,
very different. Yeah.
so if I would say this is the real meaning of commitment. You are asking what is the meaning of commitment. This is the meaning of commitment. And because Jayaji was asking, is taking divorce the way? No, sorry, it's not the way. You have to fulfill your responsibility. I mean, you can run away in this life by taking divorce, but that's not going to help you.
And Shivu, there's
You
also
have
this
to meet.
question that one is conscious, the more conscious than the other. That also happens. What if one person is more conscious?
It is
Relationships
always in
always.
90% of the relationships, one person will be more conscious than other. So one person is guiding the other. There are 10% relationships where the consciousness is kind of same, and those relationships will be very playful, very full of friendship. They will be like friends to each other, where both of them are just exploring, both of them are guiding each other when the time comes, but nobody is really the guide to each other. They are the kind of relationship which are really celebration kind of relationships. But these relationships are very rare. Also, the kind of bondage, if I say bondage, if I use the word bondage, that will be pretty less in such relationships. I would say they would be kind of relationship where, you got together, you got married, and then you said, chalo, divorce le lete hain. After divorce also your friend, then you are roaming around with each other. साथ में छुट्टी पे भी चले जाते हैं आपका नया हस्बैंड और वो आपका नया हस्बैंड, आपकी हस्बैंड की नई वाइफ, सब चलो साथ में चलते हैं, वो जो सब रहता है ना, तो उसमें वो ऐसा वो डीप स्टिकिंग भी नहीं होगा एक दूसरे के साथ. You're just having good times. Yeah, Mansi, please.
Shivo, there are many questions based on this only. How do we know that the responsibility is over?
Responsibility is over when you are in deep trust to each other, when you are in deep love to each other.
Yeah.
You love
And
each other very deeply. Like
Jyoti,
Mansi can share about her own relationship. And let me tell you, AP जो हम लोगों ने मानसी का जो हॉरोस्कोप है ना, उसमें उसका जो 7th हाउस है, जो रिलेशनशिप का होता है, उसका लॉर्ड
marriage
12th
का
हाउस
होता
में
है.
प्लेस्ड है.
Yeah.
12th हाउस में प्लेस्ड है. That means कि in this life the relationship has come to the completion. वो जो साइकिल शुरू हुआ था 2000 साल पहले, वो साइकिल कंप्लीट हो गया. Now they have a choice again to enter in a new create. अब कोई क्राइसिस तो नहीं है, but they can still enter a new phase of relationship, a creative phase of relationship. Now they can still enter, right? But this is also the time when they can also move away. They have the choice. So Jayaji was asking that when is that they can move away? They can move away only when they really begin to love, to respect each other. That's the only time they can move away. If you have not reached that space yet, there are lives to come. Better resolve now. And I'm
Shivo,
saying these are the times which are very happening. In these, I have seen the evidences that the issues of past 5,000 years are coming up for resolution. These times are so happening. Really, I mean, they are very rare times. So I would say, I would plead, take advantage of this time.
Yeah.
What is possible now will not be possible. What is possible now in 10 years will not be possible even in 10 lives when these times have gone away.
Yeah. We are starting this. I mean, I'm going up in the questions. So, but we are starting this workshop from Friday, na Shivo? Thursday se chalu kar rahe na, Natika?
Thursday, Mansi.
Yeah, we are starting from Thursday. If you are interested, please give your names. This is going to be, there is a lot we are discussing right now, individual based, but over there, it is going to be real life sharing. And there will be unique solutions that will come out for you. Even if you're not in a relationship, you can still, or if your partner has passed away, even if you're not in a relationship, this can still be for you, because this becomes the base of creativity for everything in your life.
Right. And this workshop is not just about creating relationship with the opposite gender, the opposite half, but also creating an empowering relationship with your own gender. And that will enhance your own self-esteem.
Yeah.
We saw, like, without taking names, I would say in last year workshop, we had someone who totally disliked masculinity.
Yes.
He had a complete dislike about masculine, the man.
Yes.
And it was showing up as, I am not a good person. There was a very low sense of self-esteem. And when he could go into that, when he could observe that, suddenly his relationship with women completely changed. Within a week, Mansi, there was evidence, right?
Yeah.
He always found it very difficult to be respected by women in work.
Yeah.
Right? There were always very conflicting kind of relationship. And suddenly within a month, we saw there are women all around him. All around him, there are women. All around him. And those women are taking such an important role. They are playing such an important role in his career. And it is with them he was able to accomplish one major feat. I don't want to say which feat it was, because then the story will be out. We don't want to take his name. But just because he could create an empowering relationship with masculine. there was a complete change in relationship with the feminine too. So in this workshop, we are going to deal with both.
Yes. And we also had people who hated their own gender. Again, we have some of those, we have that, but there was a lot of dislike. This person was a female and she had a lot of dislike and animosity towards her own gender, that, that women are manipulative, they are backbiting, they are like bitchy, and even those relationships. So it's like we are really going into deep into relationships at work, at home. And, we have done this 2 times. It has been very different every time. The first time we talked about, we all know about the 7 chakras, right? The 7 chakras in our body. But, within every chakra can reach enlightenment. Every chakra can reach the crown. So the first chakra can also be unite with the crown. It can get enlightened. The second chakra can also do that. Every chakra, how to reach the highest consciousness possible at every chakra, because every chakra is important. We worked on that. The second, the second workshop, I think, had its own energy because the participants who come in and what their needs are, that defines the workshop. So it depends a lot on what is happening in your life, what are your important questions, and that also creates the workshop. And I remember last time, the first 2 days were extremely deep cleansing, deep healing of deep wounds, including abuse of different kinds. There was very, very deep. We went very, very deep. And I remember, Abnas, there are a lot of people here, Natika, a lot of people to back me. And the 3rd day, we just had Kamdev and Marati just descend, and the whole, there was a total celebration of masculine and feminine, where we were really celebrating. There was playfulness. Abnas, how would you describe that, if you can talk? I don't know who else was there. Anatika, you were there. Anyone who wants to talk about that time? And how every day there was a different energy that was.
So that day, I think we participants also started falling in love with each other.
Yes.
And we were pulling each other's leg. And somehow we were also, few of us were doing tarot at that time. And Mansi pulled out one card. And that was an amazing card. And we started associating with the song. And the whole 3rd day, we were as if we went into a nasha. And I don't know, it was just magical. And the next, we spoke so much intimate things. All of us opened up. The first day are a little hesitant because a lot of time you say, why should I let my personal life be known to somebody else? And then suddenly you realize one person opening up the other. So one bubble breaking, the other bubble breaking. And then you say, hell with it, let my bubble break as well. So I think that's what happened on 3rd day. We all had become carefree. We all really went out what was happening to us. And we went into this absolute nasha. And day 4, normally the next day we have little kind of a homework or a little question that you think about. Next day, there was silence. There was not one person talking. And there was absolute, like, everybody was inside that nasha. And then I think evening, when we met her, I think we had the day off that day.
We had the day off, we wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
But we were so much in love with each other. It was like,
yes,
the first 2 days, there was a lot of very deep issues and they got cleansed.
Yes.
So there was a deep healing that was happening. People were sharing really, really dark things, because that is also part of our history.
And people were seeing their past lives as well at the same time.
People were seeing their past lives. And when that darkness, because that darkness is, when that has come out and gotten released, suddenly everyone is feeling light, intoxicated, you're falling in love.
It was just too magical. It was just beautiful. And then of course day 5 onwards we were all into each other. We were like one tight knit family. It was one of the best workshops Quanto
I
Life
wouldn't even
offers.
say family. Like we were like one. You know, we were like
Yeah,
operating as
absolutely.
if
Yes,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
And the closeness that we all made after that workshop with each other, and how we were then touching people's life even after the workshop got over. And since it's an annual function, trust me guys, if you miss it this year, you'll have to wait for one whole year. So think twice, think 4 times, think, I don't know, 10 times if you've decided not to do it. But if you have, just plunge into it. It's one of the best you can get at Quanto Life. I loved it. I wish I could have done it again, but as most of you know, Fianna's board exams start the very next day, and I won't be able to do justice. That's the only reason why I'm not going to be doing it this year. But it's one of the best. You should do it. Thank you.
And this workshop is going to be different this year than what it was last year. Because this is one workshop, even though I can make this statement about many workshops in Quanto Life, that they evolve very quickly. And even if you have done that workshop last time, this time it is going to be different. But this statement is most true for this workshop. There is no defined curriculum. In probably every other workshop, we have defined, what is going to happen on which day. Almost every workshop is like that. But in this workshop, there is no defined curriculum. It's very spontaneous. We remain present to what issue is coming up, and whatever issue is there collectively, that's what comes up, and that's what gets cleansed, or that's where we start to receive the divine messages. So it's a complete space of vulnerability, complete space of authenticity, and there is so much pure divine channeling is happening. Because one thing we have realized, that only way you can resolve the relationship issues in these times is through divine channeling. There can be no formula, there can be no method, nothing. There has to be divine channeling. When the divine channeling descends, it descends on you and everyone concerned in that story. And then there is a sudden transformation. That's what happens. Yeah, Mansi, please.
Nitika is saying that I repeated every 3 years. You've been doing it every year for the past 3 years. I want to say that you will fall in love with yourself. You will fall in love with life. Weber, tum kahan ho? And then I'm going to come to Manisha as well. Weber, kahan ho tum? Aa jao camera pe. Okay, so DS Dipti, you are welcome to sign up. So Dipti is our first participant today because we're just opening up the enrollment. Natika, Dipti ka naam likh dijiye, please.
Mansi, Kaval already gave.
Oh yes, Kaval. Yes.
Also.
Kaval तो मुझे कितने Kaval तुमने मुझे कितने महीनों के पहले बोला था ना कि I'm going to join. Sorry. So you are also there.
Payment as well. So
I've already paid.
Oh, so you are the 0th participant. That is amazing. तुमने मुझे याद है. I think we were doing money wisdom. तब तुमने बोला था कि ये कब होने वाला है.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
तब से okay. So Kaval, Dipti, most welcome. Vaibhav, आपका बताइए, because Vaibhav ना, he's our I call him Prem from the Suraj Bharjatiya movie, the Prem before he took on the responsibilities. And this is the time where I saw him take notes. अच्छा, notes तो लिखे हैं अच्छे हैंडराइटिंग में, ऊपर से बॉक्स किया हुआ है, स्टार किया हुआ है. वैभव, अपना एक्सपीरियंस बताइए इस वर्कशॉप का.
So Mansi, first out, I would like to tell everyone कि I was the youngest and probably शायद हम 2-3 ही हम लोग मेल्स थे. शिवो को अगर हटा दे तो स्टूडेंट्स में, है ना. आई एम नॉट श्योर, बट मैं, कुशल और पंकज जी, अतिन,
पंकज जी.
हाँ, तो ठीक है. और मैं मतलब
विवेक
और अतिन भैया,
विवेक भी था. या विवेक जी. सो
अच्छा, तो वो आप लोगों की एनर्जी थोड़ी हमसे ज्यादा वो होती है ना, हम लोग हावी होती है, तो ओके. एंड तो बैचलर, मैं और अतिन भी यही बैचलर थे, तो मैं वैसे ही I was like कि कम थोड़ा बोलने का थोड़ा वो नहीं हो रहा था, but note making ज्यादा हो रही थी. Then suddenly वही थर्ड डे की जो अबनाज बता रही थी, मैं उस दिन मैं कुछ नहीं बोला क्योंकि मैं कुछ बोल ही नहीं सकता था. एंड लास्ट में मुझे पकड़ लिया गया सबने कि ये वैभव बोलेगा आज जरूर कुछ ना कुछ, और जबरदस्ती मेरे नोट्स देखे गए कि दिखाओ जरा क्या करते रहते हो तुम उसमें. तो उसमें कुछ बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें थी जो मैंने बॉक्स बना रखी थी, तो वो भी ओपन हो गई कि सबसे ज्यादा फोकस इसका कहाँ पर है पूरी वर्कशॉप में. एंड जी. And Mansi, I will be joining third Ardhanarishwara. तो first workshop में first time I realized कि how a person can be 100% men and 100% women. वो मेरे लिए बहुत ही नया concept था. Mansi, first workshop के बाद I felt the feminine side of myself, and that was beautiful. And second workshop में it was more on focusing on, जैसे शिवो ने बोला, self esteem मुझ में बहुत high हुई second workshop के बाद. It was really बहुत चीजें मेरी लाइफ में फिर एकदम से बहुत changes भी आ गए relationship के point of view से भी, and काफी changes आए. तो personally self esteem बहुत built up हुआ. Women और एक फीमेल से रिलेशनशिप्स डिफरेंट लेवल पे हुए, ट्रांजिशन आया बहुत. एंड ऑल्सो सम कुछ टिप्स भी मिली हाउ टू डील इन अ रिलेशनशिप एंड हाउ टू मास्टर शिवो से कि कैसे आपको स्वादिष्टान चक्र वाला मैस्कुलिन बनने का ज्ञान मिला सर से.
Yes,
that was also
every
beautiful,
chakra
which
has
I applied.
Yes, the masculine and feminine. And one of the things many people know about shadi.com, है ना? और बहुत साल पहले, maybe 13-14 years before, Shivo had written a series on shadi.com. And I still remember when I knew about him, I had read those articles, and he said, how do you know someone, you're connecting with someone at the soul level? How do you know that this is your partner? And he had given such a sahaj, meaning itna sahaj wo lagta hai na, but I can still use it. यानी शिवो के ना ऐसे एक एक चीजें रहती है ना, वो इतनी सहज थी कि हाउ डू यू नो, व्हाट शुड यू डू, क्योंकि आप शादी के लिए मिल रहे हो, बट दिस इज नॉट जस्ट ज्ञान फॉर शादी. एनी टाइम यू आर मीटिंग, हाउ डू यू नो एम आई soulfully connected to this person? And he gave a sutra for that, and I still use it 10 years later. Manisha, you and Vaibhav, ये मुझे और एक याद आ रहा है कि जब हमने, when we had met in Mumbai, because that was immediately after Ardhanarishwara, so that energy was carried over. When we met, and one day we were singing songs, and Shivoji, again, this is what channeling means, right? You're present to the moment, गाना चल रहा है, अब वो बोल रहे ये किस चक्र का गाना है, ओके, और किस चक्र की लड़की किस चक्र के लड़के को गा रही है, किस चक्र से, कौन से चक्र से एक्टिवेट है, वो जो हमको उस दिन मिला. और सब लोग ने अपने अपने they shared how they are seeing things, learning, it just feels like it is really how a relationship, how this course goes, no? It is how to live a relationship with evolution, with joy, with the love, with the celebration, because itna celebration tha us time. Dr. Sunita is not here, but I remember Dr. Kamath singing, kaun sa tha wo? And kaun sa tha song, Shiva wo? चुरा लिया
आंधी
जो
वाला सॉन्ग था, आंधी वाला
नहीं, चुरा लिया जो तुमने जो दिल को. और उसमें ना वो एक सेंटेंस गाते हैं कि वैसे तो मैं तुम्हारे बगैर जी लेता, यूं तो अकेला जी लेता, ऐसे एक सॉन्ग था कि मैं जी लेता पर तुम हो तो
यूं तो अकेला ही अक्सर दुनिया बदल सकता हूँ मैं.
हाँ शिवा, वो वापस बोलिए ना एक बार जरा.
यूं तो अकेला ही अक्सर दुनिया बदल सकता हूँ मैं,
नहीं
तुम जो पकड़
जी
लो हाथ
सकता
में.
हूँ, नहीं
यूं तो अकेला ही.
Can anyone Google the lyric? Yeah. So he actually, it meant कि वैसे तो मैं जी लेता तुम्हारे बगैर. I can survive without you. But if you are there, you are with me, I will create this whole new, if you are with me, I can create this whole new world. And that is what they have done. They've created this hospitals, they've created and it was like, you could just see, and we talked about the chakras and everything, and it was a celebration. It is not just learning, it is not just evolution, there is a celebration, there's a joy. पूरा सिनेमा इफेक्ट.
मुझे लगा एकता कपूर का सीरियल शुरू हो गया कहीं से.
पूरा ये भी synchronicities ऐसी बहुत होंगी. There are so many synchronicities. I think, when Shivo was saying about how we, this one person who had shared about certain, about the left side, the psychic left side not being balanced, we could actually, everyone could see it in his face. Everyone, Shivo pointed out कि यार आपका ये side देखो तुम्हारे eyebrow के ऊपर, and we all noticed that how his
Mansi, do you remember the third eye? Third eye also.
Third eye, that's exactly what. Yes, Jayaji. So whatever we are saying, suddenly we saw it in his body. His whole third eye was shifted, and you could see the indentation. You could see a huge indentation. So these are very practical things. There is a joy, there is a celebration, there's a learning. And yes, another thing. We tried this format in Money Wisdom. When it was, we used to have this thing कि Money Wisdom में इतनी insights आती है ना ये सब workshops में, पर इन insights को ground करने को हमारे life में, to bring it practically in our life, we need more time. Because so what happens is, you get the insights, dang, and then the workshop is gone, life has taken over. So we decided to experiment last time in November in Money Wisdom, that we would continue to ground these insights for the next 12 to 13 weeks. Every Friday, we used to call it the Money Welcome Fridays. This name was suggested by Suchi. And we would do it. And I would ask people in Money Wisdom what were the results of that. We have so many people here who have gone through that Money Wisdom. We have done the 13 weeks of, looking into the vibration of money. Does anyone want to share what they saw overall happening? Or even personally? We have Nitika, Mukul, Manisha, Vaibhav, so many people who have joined. Atin.
मैं शेयर करूं क्या?
Yes, please.
हाँ, तो हर फ्राइडे को कुछ ना कुछ मैजिक हो जाता था. अब या तो किसी का, जैसे मेरे साथ 3 फ्राइडेज को तो ऐसे ही हुआ. अभी मैं किसी प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में सोच रही हूँ और मैंने बस उसी दिन मेरा नेगोशिएशन हो रहा है. फिर एक फ्राइडे को मैं कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन कर रही हूँ, एक फ्राइडे से मैं स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ. और सबसे ज्यादा तो मनी विजडम का जो ग्रैंडियर था, द गोल्डन ग्रैंडियर गर्ल, तो शीतल थी. एवरी फ्राइडे शी वॉज बीइंग ब्लेस्ड, every Friday. So after the session, what happens is we tend to take those learnings, those lessons, and we transform ourselves as we dissolve it every week. Every day we attend our Akhand Diya, we peel off the layers of our inhibitions, our constraints. So that's the magic that gets created with the continuity that we all experienced. So thank you for that.
Yes, so true. Yes, Manisha.
मैं बोलूं ना, ऐसे हो नहीं सकता, तो मुझे अजीब सा लग रहा था कि I should share also. So last Ardhanarishwara, I saw that I was a king है ना? आपको याद होगा शायद कि मैंने देखा था कि मैं किंग हूँ और बट आई वॉज किंग, बट मुझे फेमिनाइन मतलब फीमेल के कपड़े पहनना बहुत अच्छे लगते थे और मैं उनके वहां पे जाके रात में कैसे उनको अपनी ड्रेसअप करती थी एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स। एंड देन आई सॉ कि हाँ मानसी कहीं किसी इसकी रानी वगैरह थी शायद, और मुझे मानसी के जैसे ना, मानसी बहुत इंस्पायर किया था मानसी ने मुझे कि वो जैसे ड्रेसअप होती थी, वो सारी चीजें मुझे काफी इंस्पायर किया था। तो हमारी मेरी और मानसी की मुझे लगता है जन्म जन्मांतर से हम एक दूसरे के साथ में हैं। एंड देन उसके बाद ये हुआ कि अर्धनारेश्वर में ये मुझे पता चला कि आई एम नॉट एट ऑल लिविंग माई फेमिनिटी मैं अपनी लिव नहीं कर रही हूँ, बिकॉज फ्रॉम जब से शादी हुई या जब से मेरा बर्थ हुआ है आई एम कैरिंग द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ माई फैमिली, एंड देन आफ्टर मैरिज ऑल्सो आई एम कैरिंग द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ माई किड्स एंड ऑल द थिंग्स, बिकॉज माई हस्बैंड इज ऑलवेज ट्रांसफर होता था और वो यहाँ वहां घूमते थे रहते थे। तो वो मुझे मेरी मेरी क्रिएटिविटी बिल्कुल ब्लॉक हो गई थी, बिल्कुल मुझे प्रमोशन नहीं मिल रहा था, कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा था। एंड देन आई स्टार्टेड लिविंग आफ्टर अर्धनारेश्वर कुछ पील ऑफ हुआ, एंड देन मनी विजडम में कुछ पील ऑफ हुआ, एंड मनी विजडम में तो इतना ज्यादा पील ऑफ हुआ कि एंड देन ड्यूरिंग द मनी विजडम आई गॉट प्रमोशन एंड आई वाज डेजिग्नेटेड एज असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर प्रॉक्टर्स।
आफ्टर सो मेनी इयर्स ना मनीषा, कितने सालों के बाद?
या बहुत सालों के बाद में। तो एकेडमिक मेरा ग्रोथ हो रहा था बट मेरा बाकी का ग्रोथ नहीं हो रहा था, तो इट वाज देयर। एंड देन उसके बाद में मेरी सैलरी भी इंक्रीज हुई, एंड देन उसके बाद में माय सन ही हैज कंप्लीटेड हिज एमएस फ्रॉम आईसर भोपाल, एंड वी वर जस्ट वांटिंग कि क्या उसके लिए व्हाट इज हिज करियर। And then during the money wisdom itself, he got a project to open a supermarket, and now it is final stage pe hai, and the next month it will be going to be inaugurated. So how miracle things are happening one after another. But हाँ एक चीज है कि आपको सेल्फ वर्क करने के लिए यहाँ पे आपको साधना करनी पड़ेगी, अदरवाइज इट विल नॉट बी फ्रूटफुल। तो हम लोग जो है तीन मतलब फ्रॉम लास्ट 20, अभी मेरे को एक साल पूरा, मतलब इस 25 अगस्त को मुझे पूरे 2 साल हो जाएंगे। बट हाँ उस 2 साल में मैंने अपनी अभी तक की जितनी लाइफ नहीं जी मैंने उतनी 2 साल में अपनी पूरी लाइफ को जी लिया है। सो दिस इज द क्रक्स ऑफ क्वांटो लाइफ। एंड फॉर मी, मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ और हमेशा मैंने फील किया है कि एक अलग ही लेवल के प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं। जो प्रोग्राम शिवो सर ने बोला कि कुछ भी अभी डिसाइडेड नहीं है, बट गॉड डिसाइड करता है, वहां पे एनर्जी डिसाइड करती है कि प्रोग्राम को किस लेवल पे लेके जाना है। तो पूरी डिविनिटी फ्लो होती है, 9 days में भी पूरी डिविनिटी फ्लो होने वाली है। सो आई एम एक्साइटेड टू ज्वाइन।
या मनीषा, जया जी इज रिमाइंडिंग कि आपका यूथ कम्युनिटी जो आप that also got created in the past few months of the money wisdom, and it became very clear where you should focus on. आप जो यहाँ बट ये हो रही थी, आपकी एनर्जी जो डिसिपेट हो रही थी वो चैनलाइज हुई है।
एंड वन मोर गुड न्यूज कि जितने पेरेंट्स की कम्युनिटी बन गई है, नाउ इन दिस कम्युनिटी वी हैव 90 पेरेंट्स। So they have also joined, 90 पेरेंट्स ने ज्वाइन किया है, एंड यूथ के साथ साथ पेरेंट्स भी आ रहे हैं कि
और यूथ तो अभी 1000 के वहां हो गए ना, क्योंकि 500 यहाँ है, 500 मोर देन जो जुड़ गए हैं। And we had so many different, when we do it we took that energy for 13 weeks. Nitika had a completely different kind of money miracles, है ना? We had Mukul who had different kind of money miracles.
Yes, Mansi.
So do you want to quickly go over what was?
Yeah, so I'll just keep it very short. That we had a family vacation, and the room rates were like, it was like a 5-star property, and we got the rates which were like just half. So a room which was around 70,000, we got it for 40,000. It was like just amazing how it happened, and the whole thing was just amazing. We were like, "Ye ho
so
kaise
many
gaya?"
times, na Nitika? So many times it was happening.
3 places it happened, Mansi. 3 places. We were having family vacations and we were all together. So it was really, really wonderful how it happened. I really don't know how it happened. And we were so many of us, 12, 13 of us, and 3 places it so happened that, we got this money discount, and also there were things which we got in kind, like a free meal or something, which was just amazing. Out of the blue, it happened. So just wonderful it was. I didn't know how it happened.
Yeah. Uh, and like there were so many, I don't know if anyone else wants to share, but there were different kinds, Vaibhav, tumhara bhi tha na ki how your family comes together in a crisis, right? When there is a crisis, and how that energy shifted to celebration. There were people whose old debts, which had not been getting solved, they were able to resolve that. So many different kinds, people getting more opportunities. For me, suddenly my association, I've lived here for 22 years and I've never experienced this much growth, except for the time when I first came to college and suddenly I met a lot of people. Suddenly in the past 1 month, I have met so many, like groups and groups have opened up to me in USA. So we had so many miracles. So we will continue. And this year I am personally going to take up working on the vibrational field of relationships for people in Quanto Life, especially the ones with significant other. And yes, Jayaji, the dance opportunities, so many dance opportunities. I've had 35 people come to my place whom I've never known before, not even heard their names before. So first I had 25 and then I had 25. So 50 people that I never heard of.
I also remember one thing,
yeah,
which was very miraculous. I took, in one of the Friday, I took money issue, and next day, one of the Quanto got the dream of Mahadev that she should give certain amount to me, and next day she has given that Mahadev has asked me to give this amount, and I also got so many, during that day, also got, money from unexpected sources. So it was very surprising for me that someone getting dream like this.
So
it was amazing.
So I request everyone that whoever wants to join, give your names, because the workshop is getting formed now. We're going to go to invocation soon, but the workshop is getting formed now, and your energy brings it, creates this workshop. It's an annual workshop, and we will take it for 13 weeks after. If you want to transform your relationship with your significant other, in this 13 weeks, I am like, based on what has happened in Money Wisdom, it started an experiment because I was like, if you feel this is how it's going to work, show us. And they did. So
Mansi, may I talk of my relationship,
yes,
how
please.
it has transformed? So
please,
I remember around 7-8 years back, there was a time when I was almost on the verge of divorce. And I have been with Quanto Life now for 5 years, and I have been attending this workshop. A lot of work, definitely, but the guidance of you and Shivo, there is so much that has happened. And actually, it is just now that we are now people that who meet us, they tell us, are you guys on a constant honeymoon that you are? So it's really blossomed and it's still going on. There is so much changes. So it has all been understood because of the insights, the understanding and working on yourself. So I feel that this workshop helps in n number of ways, and it just gives such results that you can't even think of. If you really want to make a change in your own relationship with yourself, with your spouse, and with others, this is a workshop which you just can't miss. It really, and the divine helps you to find a way to attend it. That's what I personally feel, and I really encourage each and everyone here to join the workshop. Thank you so much, Mansi.
Thank you, Nitika. So let us know. Shivo, do you have anything to share?
By the way, there was some question pending.
Is there any question? Would this workshop work if one of the... Yes, Jyotsna, definitely. I have one of the day from the workshop. Yeah, Kunjan, that is fine. That is fine, Kunjan. See, I will be very honest, when you are having a 9-day workshop and you are having a 13-week after that, There will be day you will miss, but you will not miss being in the energy field. We will take you in and you can watch the recordings, but you will also take up, you will vibrationally be with it. So if you already have a commit for one of the days, that's fine. Okay. So yeah, welcome Pallavi. How do we, Jyotsna was saying, how do we know what is the purpose of a relationship? Jyotsna, ये तो बहुत deep और individualistic question है.
इसमें मैं ये कहूँगा इसमें एक आंसर मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि जो हमारे challenges रहे हैं past में, वही हमारे purpose की तरफ
indicate
when
करते.
we begin to take our challenges as the blessings, you will realize that will transform into the purpose.
Yes. Yes. Actually, you know,
and this is
the
what we found through about our own lives.
Yes, yes. Shivo, the universe is always whispering our purpose. But Shivo, I feel that
जो भी challenge दिया गया है ना, वही उसका purpose है. उसको meet करके जो भी emerge होगा ना, वही उसका purpose.
हाँ, शिवो, मुझे लगता है ना, यूनिवर्स सबसे ज्यादा जोर से, या इट इज सेइंग इन द चैलेंजेस, वो जोर से चिल्ला रही है वहां पे. मींस हमेशा लाइफ बोलती रहती है, बट जहां चैलेंजेस है ना, वहां चिल्ला चिल्ला के बोल रही है कि ये तुम्हारा पर्पस है. व्हाट वी फाइंड चैलेंज
इसीलिए दिए है ना कि आप कॉन्शियसनेस में ग्रो करें. The challenges are given to you so that you grow in consciousness, you resolve the challenge, and because that was given only to you, not to others, right? So when you have grown out of that through your consciousness, that's the path you show to others. That becomes your purpose.
Can I request someone in the team to take a screenshot of the, yeah. And so Jayaji is asking if the couples are facing financial challenges, and they are at different poles of resolution, how can that be worked out?
Is it a question for me?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
So, yeah, Mansi, if you want to speak on this, please go ahead. So, anyone can begin to work on that, and normally it is a more mature one. He is the one who has to begin to work on that. The more mature one cannot say, यार मुझे अकेले ही क्यों काम करना है, उसको क्यों नहीं करना साथ में. ऐसा नहीं होता है. जो भी गाइड है ना, उसी को काम करना शुरू करना होता है. तो whoever is a more mature one has to begin to work on that, and it may be financial issue or whatever. Quanto Life में हमने देखा है कि whatever may be the issue, the block is removed when you receive insight or you receive what has been the past, subconscious, what has been your journey. As soon as you get that, the situation begin to resolve. It doesn't, Kunjan, if you are asking this question, maybe you are the guide. If you want to resolve this, the one who want to resolve, see, the one who is a guide will always want to take lead and say, our relationship is in problem and let me take the lead. The other person will say, यार मुझे कुछ नहीं, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. I am not interested. I cannot do anything about it. How can I change you? Those kind of, logics will come. But the one who is a guide will say, okay, I can do something about it and let me do something about it. So, Quanto Life में तो हमने हमेशा देखा है कि कोई भी इश्यू होता है, उसके वाइब्रेशनल ऑब्जर्वेशन में जाते हैं, इनसाइट्स में जाते हैं, अवेयरनेस में जाते हैं, पास्ट जर्नी में जाते हैं. Everything resolves here. We have seen most difficult issues, unimaginably difficult issues getting resolved here through the journey. We have seen that so many times in Quanto Life.
Shiva, I want to add one thing. This is, you have only taught me. So one thing I would say is, we take 100% responsibility. If you want to channel any solution, you have to take 100% responsibility of it. Maybe in a relationship, maybe it feels like, oh, it's the husband's fault more, or the wife's fault more, or that person is not doing. You're in the relationship. If you want it to become better, if you want to channel anything, you have to take 100% responsibility, that I am responsible. You have to take that responsibility for that relationship. That is when the magic happens. Nothing happens before taking 100% responsibility. And this, I think Shivo taught me this several years ago, when I was like, mera isme kya, like, I mean, my mom was in the hospital. She was almost like they had made me sign ki baba, this is the end for her. And at that point, nothing was working. Every dimension was collapsing, crashing. And I had just come, I'd left my son alone in US for the first time, come here, and everything was crashing. I didn't know what to do. I did not have that. And Shiva was like, no, you take 100% responsibility of this. You take 100% responsibility. And that, taking that 100% responsibility of where I felt that I did not do this to get into the situation, but I had to take 100%. And when you take 100% responsibility, that's when the miracle happens. That's when the transformation happens. That's when the guidance will come. That's when you'll become the channel. And that is what I've discovered. So come here, take 100% responsibility of your relationship, and then experience the magic. Yes, Manisha, absolutely. Any other questions? And I thank everyone who has already joined us. So thank you, Kaval, Dipti, Pallavi, Manisha. Thank you. So, Shivo, any other question?
Kshitij hasn't shared anything today. He's on a quiet note.
Yes, Kshitij. Okay. So, Shivo, do you know what are we taking up in invocation? First of all, I want to, before we go to invocation, I want to hear where everyone feels like when they are listening to all this, are they thinking about their relationship and how it can be better? Is it something's resonating that I have the same question? What space are you all in? Are you thinking, like, where are you all? Are you thinking about some of the issues in your relationship? Are you feeling that? What are you feeling right now? Now that you're here and you've been pretty much with us for the whole session. What are your thoughts? What are you feeling? Anyone, even if you want to write a word, what is your emotion? मुझे ना एक, हाँ बोलो.
Mansi, how do you know you're connecting like soulfully? Like, how is it? You were talking something about the soulful connection.
Oh, you mean earlier when I was talking about something I read in Shadi.com that Shivo had written?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Yeah. So, of course, after so many years, after a decade, but what I remember that he had written, and no, those days, no, there was a lot of like, we got to know the other person, है ना? कि वो time ऐसे चल रहा था कि you got to know the other person, तुम बात करो, तुम question पूछो, तुम ज़्यादा जानो, interest जानो, ये जानो, है ना? ये सब चल रहा था. How do you know the other person, right? How do you know whether you're connecting to them? You ask, no, like I asked Kaval, what are your interests, where the places you like to go and all that. So in all that, Shivo had shared that, actually, can you come on camera? I just feel like seeing you.
Yeah, one second.
Yeah. So, so Shivo said, that, be in silence, okay? And look at that person. Look at the person, be in silence, and see if you're comfortable in silence. Okay. See how you feel when you're, because if you're not soulfully connecting, no, it becomes, and I tried that. When you're not connecting, no, it becomes very awkward. The silence becomes very awkward. Or you might just do something else to get distracted. You might either go on your phone, you might watch TV, you might read a book, or if you're there, it will feel very awkward. And when you are really in a soul connection, no, silence has also become very, either empathic, celebratory, very comfortable. And I've used this, that I'm quite talkative, but in the middle of the conversation, no, sometimes I just go in silence, and in that pause, see how I feel.
Okay.
Now, of course, we have this thing of connecting to space, where we have this thing of like connecting to you, connecting to myself, and feeling the space. But even that, being in silence, are you comfortable with each other in the silence? What happens when you're in the silence tells you a lot about your relationship.
Okay. I have, unconsciously I've done that. So I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah. Try it. I invite everyone to try it. Like in your significant relationship, see when there is silence between both of you, how does it feel? And what are you doing in that silence? Just see and let us know. Yeah.
Thank you, Mansi.
You're welcome. Pranam Pritam ji. Happy to. Yeah, so Philomena wants to know that how you can put a closure to a negative relationship if a spouse has passed away. So, Philomena, we have worked on karmic things for, we have had a lot of parents who have passed away and their karmic issues still pending, which have carried on. So if there is a relationship that was negative with you and a husband, it is still a part of your life. It is a part somehow of your child's life also. And we do work on it. Yeah. And that gets carried forward. It is going nowhere, right? Just because we are gone doesn't mean the issues have gone, the energy has gone, the pattern, the bondage has gone, right?
Okay.
Only in freedom, so we do work on it. Jayaji, not just in Vanshmukti, in different ways we have worked. So Vanshmukti would be a very apt way. But if it is a relationship between husband and wife, it will get worked on in Ardhanarishwara also. When people are coming in Ardhanarishwara, very often we go into, their past lives come up. Their current life past comes up. Their childhood things come up. Your relationship, Ardhanarishwara, not just your significant relationship with the other, it's also significant relationship with your parents, because your masculine and feminine in this life started with them. Your relation of how you relate to masculine and feminine in this life started with them. So even those issues get dealt with. Your issues with your bosses, your issues with your subordinates, your issues, so many, you're with children, because there again, there is a masculine feminine component. So all these issues, we are going to go into much deeper in the workshop. Shivo, anything?
So Mansi, 1 minute.
Yes.
Does this mean that, again, in another life, I'll have to repeat this with the same person, is it?
Phenomena, it depends on the work you have done in this life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you become free of a certain part, maybe you can still work on it now and become
As you
free
said,
of a
it
certain
affects the
part of it.
children's life also. Yeah, that is why
Yes,
I'm
yes.
more interested to know.
So you
And
don't want to
this,
wait till next life to solve it.
no, I that's what I've been praying, even before he passed on. I used to pray that, let me finish this life, however bad it is,
Yeah.
and resolve this, because by then I knew about these, next life and all that. So I said, I don't want to come back and repeat this with this person. And I don't want my children also to come and repeat it with this person. And this is the second time I've been having the same issues with him. In a past life also I had it. And
Yes.
one of
So
my
you see
daughters
how,
was there in that also, yes.
yeah. So you see how it repeats.
So that means it has not been resolved last time. So
No.
we came back this time. But this
Yes.
time it was, I think, worse than last time at least. I don't know.
Yes. And it will. If it is not resolved, it comes back worse. And you can still resolve a significant part of it even when he's not there in the body.
How do I do that, Mansi? I've tried it in many ways, and it's it just
so
keeps.
that is a part of our synthesis, no? Because sometimes when you're praying, you are sharing, you are talking to God. But
yeah, and
then
listening.
you also, but then but then Philomena having a master and pointing out the insights, the group energies, that definitely helps. You accelerate your process much more than doing it on a doing it individually. That's why we come in a group and do this. That's why we do it with a master, because those insights help, because you might be having a blind spot that you yourself can't see. Hello? We'll do some humming, definitely.
Mansi, we have Abnaz who has raised her hand, and then we can go into invocations. Then
yes,
I request everybody to, whoever is willing, please leave your name and number. We shall connect with you for the workshop.
May I ask? So when you say that you come back again and with the same relation and all, so does that mean that it will be the same like a spouse relation, or it could be any kind of a relation? Like he could come back as my mother-in-law, my child, or anything like that. Or will it be a spouse?
Amnas, it could. It could. It usually. I mean, in different circumstances, it will come out. It need not always come as a spouse.
And usually, what is it? Back as a spouse, or
in my case, relation? Come as a spouse or as a significant relationship.
Achha.
Like a partnership relationship.
One of my clients came back, the mother-in-law instead of the wife, and the wife and the, didn't come back as a spouse as such, but as a mother-in-law.
Yeah. So and again, right now we are talking conceptually, but there in the workshop, we'll be taking up, actually what is the problem, where it is, how to resolve it. So thank you. So let us, Shivo, maybe a minute for a break before we start invocation. Yeah. Is there anyone who's doing it for the first time? Anyone who's doing the synthesis process with us for the first time? And please keep those questions coming on the group chat also. We will have more time that time to answer those questions.
Dipti's hand is up.
I saw. So, yeah.
And Mansi, when you do the invocation, our children, especially Raghav today, his exam starts.
Yeah, it's his exam. No? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes, Dipti. So you're doing it for the first time. Okay. Shivo. Okay, Gunjan. Yeah. Shivo, will you take the invocation?
नहीं मासी, आप करो मासी.
Okay, Shivo, who we will invoke Ardhanarishwara only, right? Today. And what are we taking up?
Whatever issues, wherever you are and your significant other is. And how are you relating? What is the dynamics?
Yes. So, guys, like, as we start, can everyone put one word or something about what they are going to take up today? We call these offerings. Is really we are sharing where we are. Can I request some of the Quantos to start writing their offerings on the chat? And Ishan has taken my phone, so let me. Okay, you offer your relationship program, willing to learn how to grow together. Yeah, so yes, sometimes we are growing differently and have to grow together. So invite everyone, what is your state and what is your longing right now? Disconnection. Thank you, Pallavi. Thank you, Natika, for confirming that. Yeah. That helps me to connect. That helps Shivo to connect. So, one word. I am offering that we are going to be taking this whole, I'm going to be taking my personal relationship, but also the relationships of Quantos with their significant others. And that's what I'll be observing. Okay, Abnas. Okay, Dipti. Okay, Manisha.
Nancy, Uttara and Ushaji's health, please.
Yes, Uttara and Ushaji's health, yes. Offering means, no, can you say your current state? What is the current state of your relationship? And if you have any longing, it could be both, okay? But knowing the current, because from current is where we go everywhere. Where we are at the present is the basis of everything. Yeah. So for people who are joining new, I will say that I would say that it is a guided meditation. Just follow along. Keep your eyes closed throughout the session and clear out some place around you so you can go into Shavasana. Okay, we keep our eyes closed throughout, even when we are transitioning from sitting to going into Shavasana, lying down. We are still keeping our eyes closed. And when I talk about psychic imprints and I ask you to go into incidences, you feel it in your body. You feel where are you feeling it? How does it feel? We will start with a body scan, really observing and activating every single part of our body. Some body parts you may be able to feel, some body parts you may not be able to feel. Observe that, what you're not able to feel. Some parts might feel a little different. Maybe there's a little heaviness. Maybe there's a little pain somewhere. Maybe there's a little heat somewhere. Maybe somewhere you're feeling like a tingling or a sharpness. Observe that about your body. One by one, we'll feel our body, we'll feel our aura. We will, Kunjan, that is okay. If you are, that's okay, Kunjan. If that cannot be helped, you just do the best and then the devas will assist. Okay? That's okay. And then after that, we will do humming. So we'll invoke the quantum vibrational field. And quantum vibrational field is our temple, our vibrational temple, which contains in it the download, how Shivo downloaded the whole process of synthesis. All the Deva Devis we have invited so far, all the masters, the sadhana of all our quantos that has come together and created this vibrational structure, and it is continuously growing. So we will invoke that, with Quanto, and then we will invoke Ardhanarishwara. We will do a couple of hummings, which is close your mouth and breathe in. And when you breathe out, you hum. It will be all guided. After a humming, we will just listen to the silence. Okay. All these pranayams are to raise our vibrations. We will do heart chakra breathing, where we breathe in, raise our shoulders, breathe out, bring the shoulders down. Really, what you're doing is breathing from your heart. So just do it with me. Breathe in, raise your shoulders, breathe out, just sigh. Just bring your shoulders down. And we will observe our breath, and then we go to psychic imprints. We will go into incidents in our life. So, for example, someone mentioned that the issue was disconnection. You will go into incidences of your life with your significant other, husband or partner, where you felt that disconnection. Where there are times you're trying to connect, you don't feel the connection. You're in a situation, you don't feel the connection. Go into those situations. Go into the situations, feel the other person, feel yourself, feel the emotions, feel the space. So it's your first time. It might take some time, but you are making that beginning. So you go into observation. It's almost like you're going into the movie of your life. And you're observing. And then we'll go into Shavasana. So someone said that they're not clear of the offering. So Kunjan, write what is the state of your relationship? Just that, and that should be your offering. What is the state of your relationship? So is there, you're missing some harmony, you're feeling disconnected, you're feeling, you're feeling fear, you're feeling a dominance, whatever, where is your current reality? That is your offering. Kunjan, is it clear now?
Yeah, kind of. But my case, I don't know how to, what word to offer for the relationship issue.
That's okay. You know the word. Now, can you feel it in your body?
No, I am not getting the word for my problem in my relationship.
That's okay, Kunjan. It doesn't matter if you don't know the word. You know the feeling, that something is not okay, right? Something you want it to be better, right?
Yeah. There is a problem which I know and everything, but I don't know how to give word to it.
You can also recall one major incident. That could be your offering. One major incident.
Yeah.
Okay. So do I have to write it, or do I have to do it during the imprint session?
Yeah, if you don't want to write, it's okay. If you want to write to me in PM also, it's okay. And if you want to take it up, it is also okay. Okay, whichever you're most.
I'll write you in PM, so I don't, as I'm confused, you'll be able to guide what to offer.
Okay, sounds good. So I would request everyone that after we do the invocation tomorrow, if you could even write a sentence of your experience, because that is a completion, and we always want to complete a workshop or complete even a session. So, and we also will know where you all are. Okay, health issues, okay, dominance, okay. And in all these words, when we go to the part of psychic imprints, I'll tell you all to go into the incidences. So go into the incidences of disconnection, go into the incidences of dominance, go into the incidences of health issues. Maybe one was striking and that came up, okay. Observe that in your mind and observe it in your body. You will be able to feel it. How that dominance made you feel, how it is feeling right now. When you go into that, how was that other person's emotion? Feel that space in that room. Okay. Okay. So you will look into that incident, you will look into this issue, and you might be feeling something about it, right, Kunjan? Now, even when you're telling me, are you feeling something in your body? Check your body. Are you feeling something in your body? See if you're feeling maybe a heaviness, a pain in your heart or in your stomach. Are you feeling? Just close your eyes.
I'm not feeling different anything.
Okay. So when you go into it, Kunjan, so when you go into it, was there an incident which was, this is the problem. Was there an incident that is coming to your mind?
No, I was just focusing on my body, what I'm feeling.
Yeah, can you think of one incident?
Okay.
Yeah. And now can you check your body? So Kunjan, I'm feeling something in my heart, like it's like, like it's becoming smaller. I don't know how to explain that. And I feel, that is what I'm feeling.
Smaller, like I didn't get. Like what is becoming
Like
smaller?
it's like how you feel like something is contracting, like that's how I'm feeling.
I had bit heaviness on my hands, bit very little when I was observing.
Okay. You can observe that. You can observe that. Okay. Whatever. And if you're not feeling anything, then observe that I'm not feeling anything. It's a big issue, na? Then observe that I'm not feeling anything. That numbness is also an imprint. And if you're feeling a lot of, I think Dipti was sharing, if you've been feeling a lot of aches and all, even before, then all these are some imprints of some other things. Whatever is coming up in that invocation, trust that and keep observing that. Okay? Okay. So, so Dipti, is that okay? And then afterwards you share your experience, we'll guide you further. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let us go into invocation. Close your eyes. Keep your spine as straight as you can. Keep your arms on your knees. Sorry, keep your palms on your knees. Connect to your body. We are going to scan our bodies. But before that, when I am scanning the vibrational field of masculine, feminine right now, I'm feeling a general low in energy. I'm feeling that this dynamic is feeling very dull, depressed. And I offer this slowness to Ardhanarishwara. Let us start scanning our bodies. Feeling the top of your head. Your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your third eye. Feel your face, your entire face. Your head, inside your head. You're not doing anything, just observing. Observing your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your palms, observing your heart, your lungs, your torso, your belly, your genitals, your thighs, knees, legs, feet. Feel the back of your body from the top of your head all the way down your spine. Feel the whole back of your body, upper back, middle back, lower back, back of your neck, back of your heart, of your head. And now feel your whole body. Let's feel the whole left side of your body. Let's feel the left side. Now feel the right side of your body, the whole right side from head to toe. And now feel the whole body together. as one. We'll invoke the quantum vibrational field. Quanto, quanto, quanto. Invoke Ardhanarishwara. I invoke Ardhanarishwara. I invoke Ardhanarishwara. I invoke Ardhanarishwara. Keep observing your breath, going in and out. Don't try to change your breathing. Just in and out. And also now observe what happens between one in breath and out breath. After you're breathing in, just before the breath goes out, what happens? That gap. Try to be with it. Every time you find the gap, you will relax more and more. And now we will briefly hum. Our humming is sharing our song, our vibration with the cosmos. And the silence after that is listening to the cosmos. And now we will feel our heart. Breathe in. Raise your shoulders. Breathe out. Making the sound. Bringing your shoulders down. You really, when you breathe, your shoulders slightly raised. It is like you're breathing from the heart. And now we are going to go deeper into our sadhana. Please observe your relationship with your significant other or any person, significant person. Go into the incidences, the most intense incidences with that person. And when you go into those incidences, you're not just going into the memory. You're going into the vibrational field. You're going into that space. You're going into that time, and Ardhanarishwara energy, quantum energy is going to come there. You're going to observe yourself. You're going to observe the other people. You're going to observe the emotions. You're going to observe the space between you all. And most importantly, you're going to observe that in your body. It is stored in your body somewhere. You will observe it. Observe in which part and how it feels. I will be in silence now. As you connect with those incidences, go to those incidences and feel them in your body. Feel the space around what you're feeling. So let us do that. There is no right or wrong. You're just going a little forward in your journey. So let us go in there. And now I request everyone to go into Shavasana. Thank you so much for being part of this journey today. Please share your experiences tomorrow in the group so that we can take this forward, this conversation, this journey forward.